Manchester booking confirm kar.
हाँ. Oh, we're live. Okay, so we're live.
India session?
India's. Do you really think so?
Yeah, 100 for 2 India session when you're batting first
if
in England.
Karun hadn't gotten out, I
Then
would
though,
say
then
India
though was an
session.
overwhelming Indian session. But even then, when you're batting first, England's won the toss, put you in 100 for 2. Yes, KL Rahul was a big wicket gone, but Karun Nair steadied the ship once again. An important 30.
Yeah.
Yashasvi Jaiswal in, captain in. Hopefully Shubman Gill will be able to get himself in post lunch, but I'd reckon close to 100 runs. It's India's session.
I slightly.
And you're playing. Okay, let's put it this way: 60-40 India.
Okay.
According to me.
Fine. I would say that India would have liked to put a lot more pressure on England. At this point, I think the ball was in England's court and they were bowling very, very disciplined lines, very tight overs over there from Chris Woakes, Bryden Cast, Ben Stokes as well. Josh Tongue got some runs, but apart from that, if Karun Nair hadn't gotten out, I would have said that this was completely India's session. But for now, I think it sort of hangs in the balance, and I don't think there's much pressure from India right now.
No, it's not. See, look, when you've lost the toss, England's put you in.
Yeah.
It is on England to make it happen, and they did make it happen. That Chris Woakes spell, where 2 umpires calls, one against Karun Nair, one against Yashasvi Jaiswal. It could well have gone either way. India could well have been 3 down or 4 down.
Yep.
So if you are batting first on a wicket where the bowler is making the ball talk, Chris Woakes was getting the ball to move, that appreciably coming in, and that was a special first spell. That was a really good first spell from Chris Woakes. Bryden Cast kept up the pressure. Josh Tongue came and released it. 6 overs for 40 runs. But that's the point, that the first hour, even when the ball was doing quite a bit, India did not give up. Even Karun Nair, he was getting beaten, but every time he got an opportunity to score, he scored. At 100 runs, you have again, it's not about 40 for 2, it's 100 for 2. So India will be, after losing the toss, being put in, England would have wanted at least 1 more wicket, at least, especially with that first spell from Stokes, from Chris Woakes and Bryden Cast. On the other side, you might say, yes, at the stroke of lunch, but they set Karun Nair up.
Yes,
now, this might just be a weakness that the English try to exploit. They are hit the deck bowlers, they are tall bowlers, they will hit the deck. Bryden Cast, Chris Woakes, even Josh Tongue, all of these guys are tall. Ben Stokes are tall bowlers. Karun is a shortish man, and they'll try and exploit that. That could be a weakness.
Absolutely, that could be a weakness. Now, but this time around, England deployed that short ball strategy very, very early. I think around overs 18 or 19, they were already trying to bowl those short balls. And you saw there was a little bit of hesitation from Karun Nair, and that's where the setup had started to happen. It's unfortunate that once again India loses a wicket at the stroke of lunch. You would have wanted Karun Nair to bat longer than this. You would have wanted to see him turn this into a big innings. Unfortunately, he could not do that. But I think he did a good job. After Yashasvi Jaiswal fell, he had... after KL Rahul fell, one of the openers, he had his task cut out for him. And it was difficult because Bryden Cast and Chris Woakes were spitting fire today. And I expected Chris Woakes to bowl this well, his home ground. And you know, he did not look this good in Leeds, but today he's been bowling incredibly well.
2-3 things about Chris Woakes. One, it was a 7-over spell. It was not a 5-over spell that you normally see from a fast bowler these days, and then he's off.
Yeah.
Chris Woakes bowled a 7-over spell, and with the same intensity. All of the first hour, Chris Woakes kept coming. Also, he was getting the ball to move. That spell, he could have easily had Karun Nair, he could have easily had KL Rahul and Jaiswal. Rahul, you might say unlucky, but we've seen that with KL quite a few times. He has the bat like this, and then the ball just drifts on. That played on, because he plays with soft hands. It works to his advantage because he plays with soft hands and the ball doesn't carry, but there are occasions like this. Coming back to England, at one point in time, I was pointing out to Trisha and Rohan, yes, they had a field for Jaiswal against Josh Tongue, which was a very strange field.
A fielder right there.
Yeah, that was okay, but then they had 4 fielders
that's
there
what I'm talking about.
and 1 slip. So clearly, that was an attacking ploy that Ben Stokes was doing against Jaiswal. He had a leg slip. He had almost a square there. There was a square leg, there was a mid-wicket, and there was a deep pine leg. So he put all fielders there, and he tried the short ball against Yashasvi Jaiswal with just solo slip. Also, there was a fielder very fine at deep third. So for the slash or the cut that Yashasvi Jaiswal could have played. But again, Yashasvi Jaiswal got himself in, did play and miss at the start of the innings, reined himself in, and then some scorching shots.
Absolutely. You know what? One ability that I admire about Yashasvi Jaiswal is that he's always looking to put the pressure back on the opposition. Even when he's getting beat, he's thinking 2 steps ahead. He's thinking about how he wants to get more runs, rotate the strike so that he can put the pressure back on England. And that's precisely what he did. That one shot off of Chris Woakes, that released a bit of pressure. And Chris Woakes was bowling incredibly disciplined lines. And I was trying to... Incredible spell. And I was trying to, sort of count how many boundaries or how many runs are coming and how many loose balls Chris Woakes is bowling. And he only got a boundary 1 in 30 balls. So if you look at the
first 5 overs,
yes,
was
there was
5-4 maidens, 4 runs,
yes,
and a wicket. That was the first spell. So 5 overs for 4 maidens,
those are
1
great numbers.
And more importantly, I mean, at the start of an innings, you can expect that from a fast bowler if the opponent is trying to get themselves in and all of that. But this was not the opponent getting in. This is what she is saying. It was actually a top quality spell, and that's why I'm saying it's India's session, because otherwise, that spell, that Chris Woakes spell, a couple of wickets, you get the new person in, another edge, another wicket, KL Rahul gone, and that's why credit to Karun Nair. He negated that new ball.
Absolutely,
now that
yes.
that ball is 24, 25 overs old, another 10, 15 overs and it'll start to get soft. Something that Shubman Gill alluded to in the press conference. Between overs 40 and 60, nothing much happens. Nothing much happens with the older Duke's ball. So you've got to get 1 more hour, and if you play 1 more hour, India will have, and with this weather, beautiful weather, bright and sunny, no chance of rain, you should make merry on this wicket and score runs. You've got a 100-run platform. Do not give up like Leeds. Go and get a massive first inning score. Again, a 400 plus.
Yes.
That wicket, which is brownish, and I want Gargi's opinion on this, that wicket which is brownish, all of a sudden, you are bowling 4th, and that's where your 2 spinners will come in.
Your 2 spinners will come in, and I so desperately wish that Kuldeep Yadav was in that team, because now that you see, even in those starting overs when Bryden Cast was bowling, after almost every over, the umpire would go in closer to where Bryden Cast was landing, and he would move something away. I think the pitch had started to scuff up, something like that was happening. But you can tell that the pitch is now starting to scuff up on day 1 in the first session itself. And if you had a Kuldeep Yadav, he would have gotten a lot of wickets. But at the same time, you still have 2 spinners. You have Washington Sundar, who bowls very tight lines. You have Ravindra Jadeja, who you can bank on for getting those breakthroughs. So it's not as if this is a bad team. This is not a bad team at all. You wish Kuldeep was there, but you still have 2 spinners, and they will come into play.
I kind of think the fact that India is bowling 4th, that issue has been kind of nullified.
Yes.
I think this is an excellent batting wicket. I want to make this point amply clear. This is an excellent batting wicket up front. So in the first innings, a big first innings, and a big first innings means at least 450, 400 plus first innings. India needs to bat well. They're batting deep. Washington Sundar coming in at number 7 or number 8 gives you enormous amount of batting out there. So bat big, bat deep. And once you do that, also you will have the advantage, like Shubman said, of bowling 2 spinners in tandem in case you want to control runs. They can bowl negative lines. They can, and Washington Sundar is able to do that.
Yeah.
वो sort of खींच के बॉल करेंगे, थोड़ा सा लूप कम देंगे, थोड़ा सा फ्लाइट कम देंगे, छोटा बॉल करेंगे, and Ravindra Jadeja can quickly do that. So that between 40 and 60, what we are just talking about, you can get through the overs quickly and then get your new ball bowlers back or the swing bowlers back. Also, you have 1 extra bowling option compared to Leeds.
Nitish Kumar Reddy.
You have a Nitish Reddy. You have 3 fast bowlers. You have out and out 2 spinners. Plus, you have another bowling option in Nitish Kumar Reddy. The fact that you are bowling 4th. Now, think about it. Washington will get the ball to come in.
Yeah.
There will be rough there.
Yes.
Bryden Cast is going round the wicket. A lot of the bowlers will go round the wicket. Even Mohammad Siraj will go round the wicket. against a Ben Duckett. So that's where the footmarks will be created. That's where Washington Sundar will come in. And you have already seen in Leeds Ravindra Jadeja against the left-handers. So in that sense, the first innings of this particular test match could just set it up for India. How you bat totally on day one and even continuing, you cannot just give up. That will set up the match.
Do you think India needs to bat the entire day from here on?
Come on, not just today. You've got to bat at least bit till tomorrow lunch.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
If you bat till tomorrow lunch, you are talking about 400 plus. There is absolutely no way you're winning this game if you don't score 400 against England.
No way.
Plus, you've got 100 runs already on the board. You're in. You've got 100 runs
Four
in.
more sessions like this and you're set up. You've got a
course.
good match set up for
Of
yourself
course.
in your favor. Then the job is that you go out there and bowl disciplined lines.
Tight.
Very tight overs, just like England did right now. But a couple of questions that are
Now, where while you say England did, Josh Tongue, is he the weak link in that attack?
Yeah, I think so. And compare his bowling to Leeds as well. In Leeds, in that first test match as well, Josh Tongue was bowling the same, was doing the same thing.
He released the pressure.
He released the pressure. He got some wicket, but those were tail enders. Remember that. When it comes to the top batters, he was not able to get any penetration at all. He was always getting the wickets of the tail enders and the lower middle order. Apart from that, Josh Tongue had no real impact in the game. And today as well, after that incredible spell from the three, Ben Stokes, Bryden Carse and Chris Woakes, he came in and released that pressure.
I thought Stokes wasn't as good as Leeds.
No, he was
I thought
not.
Stokes was, the first spell from Chris Woakes, let me give Gargi the phone so that we can also take some questions.
Yes.
Chris Woakes was brilliant. Bryden Carse was good, nothing sensational. Chris Woakes was the pick of the bowlers. Yes, Bryden Carse, the ball that he bowled to Karun Nair, surprised Karun, jumped up and Karun couldn't fend catch to slip. But against a shortish batter, that's always going to be a ploy. You put a forward short leg, just disconnect it.
Okay.
Yeah. You put a forward short leg, you put a fielder out there and you go there. That's something that should be a tried and tested ploy for any bowler. I thought Chris Woakes was excellent.
Should we move in the shade a little bit?
I had given this idea to you. You were the one who said, let's go
I
into the sun.
underestimated the sun.
So she was the one who said, no, I'm English now. Let's go out in the sun and do the show. I said, chalo,
I
theek
was
hai."
so wrong.
But it's
My face started burning.
so it is quite, once the sun really comes out, it is kind of, it pinches you.
Okay.
But yes, take the
Super chat. We have a super chat. Rajdeep Chaudhary. Not playing Kuldeep is such a negative move. Is Gambhir a very defensive coach? Thoughts?
I've explained this to you in the morning live, but let Gargi explain first and then I will come in with my idea. Tell me.
What? Kuldeep?
The whole question. Is this a defensive move? Take the question and answer it.
No, look, when we think about this, I think you have to think of the entire context of the match. I understand where the Indian management is coming from. Yes, we would have liked a Kuldeep Yadav in the team to get those breakthroughs and get those wickets. But at the same time, you think of what Washington Sundar brings to the table. He brings you batting. And batting in these conditions is required, especially when you think of the fact that England bat till number 9 and their lower middle order's quality compared to Indian lower middle order is very, very high. So if you think of the entire thing, you need a good total on the scoreboard. And also, Shubman Gill made it abundantly clear in that press conference as well that he was looking for a second spinner who will bowl tight lines and who will dry up the runs. He was constantly talking about that point.
Now, just to add to that, she kind of gave you the micro picture, the larger picture, the macro picture is somewhat different. Whose question was it?
Rajdeep.
Rajdeep, to answer you, you are not playing your best bowler in Jasprit Bumrah. You don't have the best record at Edgbaston. It's also about psychological issues, right? England considers Edgbaston as its fortress. Just like Leeds, Headingley is an English fortress. Edgbaston is an English fortress. We've played 8 test matches, 7 losses and 1 draw. So the idea here is you don't want to lose. You cannot go to Lords 0-2 down. Whoever you play at Lords, be it Bumrah, be it anybody, from there on 0-2 down in a series of 5 tests to come back is Herculean. almost impossible. It's a humongous ask. The idea for India here is we will not lose, whatever the captain says. The team tells me that. You've picked Washington Sundar. You want tight lines. You want conservative, an approach where you don't want to lose, and then you want to go to Lords. You've blocked Edgbaston off. You've played Leeds where you were competitive. You've got the two fortresses out of the way, and thereafter Manchester and Lords where you can win. Lords you won in 2021-22. You've won that series, that match under Virat Kohli. Siraj, for example, Bharat Arun explained that to me in that interview. How to bowl that slope. Siraj was taught that by the then management, Ravi and Bharat at Lords. Jasprit will bowl well at Lords. He was also there. So Lords will be a fundamentally different match for India. India can't lose this. And now, because they've been put in, Washington Sundar using those footmarks, Ravindra Jadeja, that's why I'm 100% saying, Rajdeep, get a big first innings total.
Yes,
you get bundled out for 250, 300. England will hammer you. England will post a 500-600 and you're gone. You post a big first innings total, you've set it up now, this is match on.
Okay, Saikat Sanyal is saying, Karun Nair looks good today, but that ball was terrible to escape. Unlucky Karun Nair. If India does not score 500 plus with that batting lineup, then it will be difficult for India to get the result in their favour. Precisely what you just said.
Yeah.
Rajdeep Pal is saying, don't you think Gambhir is kind of paradoxical? As he says, bowlers win you tournaments, but he himself prefers to bat deep.
No, I don't think so. I think this is from the context of the series. From the, also you must think about it. If India played Jasprit here, and they could have played Jasprit here, he's fit. Jasprit is absolutely fine, but then there's no way he's playing Lords. He's not playing Lords. And you, because it's a 2-day turnaround, it's a 3-day turnaround. 7th will be a travel day. 8th and 9th are the 2 days you're in London, your training day, aye. And 10th, you start the game at Lords. There's absolutely no way Jasprit is playing. So this was a prudent call to rest up Jasprit Bumrah here, keep him fresh for Lords. The other thing, Gautam is keeping in mind the larger contour of the series. This one, get through this one without losing. And if you then get an opportunity with a big first inning score, you've got the two spinners, you've got bowlers, push there. But don't lose first. That's India's approach. India's approach not to lose in Birmingham. At least the team tells me that.
Okay, Bhavik Patel is already saying India is starting to lose the match. It's just the first
Boss,
session.
we won the first session, my friend.
First session.
100 for 2, India's session. Chris Wokes and Bryden Cast bowling extremely well. Could have been 4 down. In England, you've played a first session and scored 100 runs. And if you're saying that you're losing this match, then you're either daft or stupid. Decide which one you are.
Okay, RSV is saying all our top order batters should be clear about playing at least 200 plus balls. No excuse on this decent batting pitch.
It's a very good batting wicket.
Very good batting wicket. India should try to play 9 sessions and push.
Hey boss, come on, 9 sessions mean 3 days.
They played into the ploy. KL Rahul with his bat like this, getting that inside edge.
Come on,
short
you still
guy.
got 100 runs. You've
I'm
scored
not saying
100 runs. I mean, 9 sessions तो नहीं हो सकता दादा, 4 session हो
ज़्यादा
सकता
बोल
है.
गया यार.
4 session में आप 450-500 बना लोगे. So if you're batting 4 sessions, you'll get to 450 on this wicket.
Fitmonk is saying trio of Sachin, Saurav and Dravid would have scored 700 runs against this English bowling attack. Nair missed a huge opportunity to make this innings count.
I wouldn't say that. I know where he's coming from, that these three were absolute geniuses. But 1996, when Saurav and Dravid made their debut, it was what? It was Chris Lewis, Dominic Cork, that attack, Alan Mulally, that attack. India lost Edgbaston, Sachin Tendulkar 122, India folded up for 200 something. So I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't discredit this batting attack. They were really good at Leeds, 450, 350. So, I'm not one of those people who will kind of, talk derogatory about this current team and say, oh, the past team was great.
No
The past team didn't win. In 1996, you lost against England. You have only won 2007. The Sachin Tendulkar team did not win in 2011. All these guys were there. A VVS and a Dravid and a Sachin and an MS and all of these guys sort of had retired. But the rest of the boys were all there. You did not win. The last time you won was 2007. So that tells you it's difficult to win in England.
It is difficult to win in England. One question though, because we're talking about Karun Nair and we all think that he did a good job today. Yes, he did not get a big score, but negated that new ball very
Totally.
well. Sai Sudarshan did the same in that second innings.
I think what went in favor of Karun Nair is the fact that he has the experience. He's coming back after 7 years, that you don't give him Sai Sudarshan because he's relatively new, that he will get his opportunity. Boss, it was a toss-up. There's no debate that you drop this guy, you don't drop that guy. I had said on the show that possibly Sai Sudarshan plays. So make no mistake about it that Sai Sudarshan will get his opportunity. I think because Karun Nair making a comeback in international cricket after 7 odd years, they are giving him a bit of a long rope, and I can't fault the team for that. Karun Nair deserves his opportunity, has earned his opportunity. Sai Sudarshan did not look too bad to me either. So, and by the way, he justified that with that 30 that he got, he wasn't bad either.
Some support staff, I think, was out there. But oh, look at this! English fans are buying KKR jerseys. Is that a
KKR?
Isn't that KKR?
Which one?
This one, the one they're trying on.
What?
Look at that, the one in his hands. That's a KKR jersey.
Gargi, you must get your eyes checked. Where is KKR here?
Look at that one that he just put.
This one?
Huh?
Could be.
That is a KKR jersey.
But he's not buying it.
He tried it on.
He take a photo and leave it.
I've been in Kolkata long enough to recognize the KKR jersey in one side.
Good for you. But this is a good store. By the way, folks, this is the Edgbaston cricket ground store. You have football jerseys, cricket jerseys. I mean, interesting the point that she made. Actually, she's right. All of the IPL jerseys. Is that
Exactly,
Chennai?
yes. That's what I've been telling you. Even in the morning while we were doing the live, English fans are walking in with Chennai jerseys, RCB jerseys. I was like, what is going on here?
But look at this. Actually, look at the cultural currency of IPL. The cultural currency of IPL, that all of these fellows, they are buying India jerseys, yes, but they're also buying, look at that guy, CSK. He has the CSK jersey.
Look,
that fellow,
again, he's trying a KKR jersey.
that guy is trying a KKR jersey. There's KKR there, there's CSK there. You saw RCB also?
RCB.
I couldn't see RCB.
Maybe he got it from home.
Anyway,
there was an old Punjab jersey as well.
So a lot of these IPL jerseys being sold here. Rohan will obviously go and get a jersey because otherwise Rohan can't sleep at night.
Of course he will. Okay.
5 more minutes, sir.
5 more minutes.
I've not had lunch. ऊपर जाके खाएंगे. आपने खा लिया? ऊपर जाके.
If India doesn't score 600 runs, they are losing this match.
Pass. Quiz में pass करते थे ना, वो pass कर दिया question.
Looks like our batters will thrive here.
Of course will. I mean, come on.
Look at Yashasvi. How
this is a good batting. If your batters don't thrive here, then which condition they will thrive? This is a good batting wicket.
Very good batting.
Boss, anything under 300 India gets bowled out, then India's batted badly, England's taken the game. Simple as that. This is not a wicket to get bundled out. You're already 100 for 2. You're playing with 8 batters.
Okay. 500 should be aimed for Aniruddha Bhaduri.
Agree.
Khan Multan is saying Rahul Dravid is the greatest, and the channel called Sports. Oh, never mind that.
No, whatever. What is the question?
Here, this one.
Rahul Dravid is the greatest. Sports Today disrespected him by saying he doesn't make it to the top 5 batsmen of India. Look, it is their opinion. You shouldn't take an opinion seriously. Rahul Dravid is the greatest is again your opinion. So let's respect it. Why are you bothered about anybody else? That person might feel a Tendulkar, might feel a Vijay Merchant, might feel somebody else that is a greater batter. How does it make any difference to you? You respect Rahul, we respect Rahul, anyone will, and that's how it should be. But there should be place for multiple opinions. Multiple opinions. Some more questions?
Yes, some more questions. Final 2-3 minutes on the show. Okay, Himadri Shekhar Chakravarti is saying, is the
hey, say Chakravarti properly. Now you're half Bengali.
Chakravarti.
That's the way.
That's what I said.
That's the way. Good.
Is the Gautam Gambhir chop and change approach in tests sustainable? Should India have played Kuldeep, Washington and Jadeja instead of NKR? No. Come on, you don't have a Jasprit Bumrah. You need a cushion in your pace bowling attack.
How can you play 3 spinners?
I don't know. Not on this wicket, for sure. Vaibhav Taragi is saying our top order should keep in mind that हमारा lower order बस attendance लगाने आता है.
ये बड़ा सही बात है। वो आप कॉलेज में अटेंडेंस देके निकल जाते हो ना,
Exactly.
वो वैसे है। सो वो थोड़ा सा, बट आज देखिए वो अलग है। नंबर 8 पे वॉशिंगटन बैटिंग करेंगे, जो सॉलिड बैट्समैन है आपका, सॉलिड, कोई भी टॉप ऑर्डर में खेल सकते हैं वैभव। सो 9, 10, 11, बाय द वे आकाशदीप हैज आल्सो प्रूवन इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया दैट ही इज अ बेटर बैटर।
Absolutely. Absolutely. That Jasprit Bumrah Akashdeep partnership. How can we forget that? How
So,
can we forget that?
okay.
Avoiding that follow on.
खत्म
Yes,
करेंगे,
story.
खत्म करें।
Uh-huh.
Okay, before we end, today's World Sports Journalist Day. So on behalf of all of you, firstly to you too,
Thank you. To
many
you,
congratulations, and to everyone. You know, this is a very divided fraternity. We all chase our exclusives, we all want our stories, but this is also a very small fraternity. I've put out a piece and I believe in this. We all should be united irrespective of what happens. When it's about political journalism, think of the number of opportunities that the political journalists get. But when it comes to sports journalism, the opportunities are minimal. How many people get to travel and cover a tour? How many people get to travel to an Olympic Games and cover that? Or an Asian Games? People are made to sit at their desks and report because budgets are often cited as issues. Now, if we have to raise a collective voice against this and earn our pound of flesh, we need to be united, whatever the story is. I've done thousands of exclusives in my life. That exclusive doesn't define us. What defines us is the unity. We were a team of 4 at Rev Sports. We are now 50. We'll possibly be 100 in a year. But it is not about Rev Sports also. It is about the entire fraternity. So my urge to everyone on World Sports Journalist Day is let's stay united. Let's make a collective call and use our voice to raise our voice to do good stories, to narrate good stories. And you guys are our biggest supporters. Good or bad, criticism or praise, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Stay with us and watch our broadcasts. Be with the team because ultimately this is all a fraternity. So Gargi and her ilk, to everybody at my own team, at Team Rev Sports, to everyone watching, wish you all a happy Sports Journalist Day.